Hello, everybody. Good morning. This is John Big Dog Wagner coming at you. I wanted to speak on a couple things today. One thing, kind of trivial, not so important. The other thing, very important. Okay. First thing I want to speak on, I managed to pick up a couple of trolls. All right. Now, this is all the attention you're going to get from me. To me, a troll has nothing better to do, has no life, has no daddy. They just looking for attention. Somebody that's going to dedicate whatever. And they think they're accomplishing something. They think they're doing something smart. For example, one guy comes on and says he's supposed to know what he's doing, but he says gas. He doesn't say diesel. He doesn't say fuel. He says gas. Really? Gas, fuel, diesel, petrol, combustible liquid to make the vehicle go. Does it really make a difference? Is it worth all that need for attention? Another guy comes on because I talk about the gentleman that I spoke to prior to coming to Super Ego. I said specifically, I asked the guy how much he makes. Guy says he averages $1,500 a week. Guy says, except this week because it took money out of his check for a repair that he had. So it's very clear I'm talking about his total payout after everything is done. Well, this moron comes on and says, oh, well, if you're only making $1,500 a week, you got to cover your fuel, you got to cover your check, you're not making any money. Really, moron? So as you're trying to correct me on what I'm saying, your comprehension level is so low that you don't realize we're talking about his final payout? You think we're actually talking about his gross? And you're trying to make me look stupid? Come on, man. So, I'm not trying to be nobody's daddy. I got kids. I got grandkids. I'm good. If you're looking for attention, you're looking for somebody to dedicate their life and put you on their taxes, go somewhere else. Waste your time somewhere else. I'm not interested. From now on, I see comments like that, I'm just going to delete it. You ain't going to get no fan base off of me. Not behind stupid bullshit. You got a real question? You looking for some real information? I'm here. You want that bullshit? Kick rocks. Alright, anyway, now that that's covered, I want to talk about the importance of the relationship that you have with your dispatcher. Let's be honest. Your dispatcher's your money. You got a bad dispatcher, you ain't gonna make no money. You can't communicate with your dispatcher, you want to self-dispatch, you can't communicate with your dispatcher, you ain't gonna make no money. They are a tool. They are a tool that you need to get to where you're gonna go. But you need to be able to handle that tool in a way that a business owner would handle their business. Okay? Just like everything, there's good and bad. There's dispatchers that know what they're doing, and they're going to run you to hell and gone, and you're going to get some fat paychecks. And then there's dispatchers that don't know what they're doing, and they're going to run you to hell and gone, and you ain't going to make shit. That's the reality of that. So, for you to be able to tell your dispatcher what you need to do, you have to know what to do. Because if you don't know, and dispatcher says, I got this load 1,000 miles, $1,000, 45,000 pounds. That's a good load. You should take it. And you take it, you paying them to run that load. And you ain't going to make no money. And unfortunately, yes, there are dispatchers that stupid that will give you a load like that. Me and my dispatcher were talking about it, and like I told my dispatcher, I said, look, here's the bottom line on this. Y'all get bonuses, right? So if your driver ain't making no money, y'all ain't getting no bonus. So it would behoove the dispatcher to make sure that the driver's making money. But a lot of the dispatchers, they see their job is, I got this over here, I got this over here, I got to bring it together, I did my job. They don't look at the quality of it, they don't look at the quantity of it, they don't care. Oh shit, I got a load going to Pennsylvania. Oh shit, I got a driver right here, they can pick it up. Boom, I did my job. There are other dispatchers that realize what their job is. And they see a load, 1,000 miles, $1,000, 45,000 pounds. They're like, hell no. This should be paying $3,000, $4,000. And they call the broker up. And they tell the broker, this should be paying $3,000, $4,000. Broker says, some idiot will take it for $1,000. Dispatcher says, not me. And they go find you a load that's going to pay, that's going to make difference. Okay? If somebody happens to call you with a load, and it's one that you don't want, one that doesn't make sense, don't take it. Don't let them bully you into taking it. My dispatcher was sick the other day. I had to deal with some of the other dispatchers. I had dispatchers that were calling me and they said, well, you done denied the last 20 loads we offered you. First off, y'all didn't offer me 20 loads. And I told it, you a liar. Then he tells me, well, if you don't take this load, you're going to sit there for the next 10 days. Okay, I guess I got a vacation coming. Then he proceeds to talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old child. Click. He actually got under my skin. I called and talked to his boss. His boss says, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Wagner. He will not contact you again. I've got this guy who's got a load for you right now who's going to be calling you. That load made sense. I'm delivering it right now. So this just goes to show the importance of knowing the details for your load, not just the big number. You got to know what you're paying on that load. You got to know what that load is costing you. So when you look at that big number, you know if you're making money or not. Because the dispatcher you have might not be looking out for you. They might be one of these idiots that's just putting A and B together and saying, okay, that's C. 1 and 1 makes 2. I don't care what the final result is. I did my job. Whew. And you have to be able to tell your dispatcher no. I had a guy who came to Super Ego from another company. He picked up his truck. All he wanted to do was go home. Why? He wanted to get his stuff for his truck. All that stuff he couldn't bring on the plane, yeah, he wanted to get his stuff for his truck. His dispatcher told him, no, I can't send you to California. There's no loads in California. There's no money going to California. I can't send you to California. I can only do you right here on the East Coast. And as I'm talking to him, he's like, you know, yeah, my dispatcher said there's nothing going to California. They can't get me to Bruh. I've been to California twice since you came on. At what point are you going to nut up and tell your dispatcher enough of the bullshit? This is where I want to go. This is where I'm going to go. This is what you're going to do. You are the boss of your business. Jobs that you've had in the past, there was no doubt who the boss was, right? Because the boss was the one dictating. The boss was the one telling people. They had employees that had to do what they were supposed to do, but if they didn't do what they were supposed to do, what happened? They went to see the boss. Your dispatcher is your employee. You the boss. If your employee ain't doing what they're supposed to do, then it's time to meet the boss. And if it gets to a point that you just feel like he ain't gonna do what you want him to do, nice knowing you, you got to go. I need me another dispatcher. I am on my 5th dispatcher since I started with this company. 2 of them knew what the hell they was doing. 2 of them didn't. Now I got a 5th one. He know what the hell he's doing. The 2 that I had before that knew what the hell they were doing, they left because they got better jobs somewhere else, paying more money. You know why? Because they knew what the hell they was doing. The ones that didn't know they was doing, one of them, as soon as I fired him, he went to go work in recovery. He said dispatching is too stressful. The other one was supposed to be a team leader. I don't know how the hell he became a team leader. But the only way that he lasted as my dispatcher as long as he did was I started dispatching for myself. I said, fine, you want to say my dispatcher? If I call you, I give you the load number, this is what I want, you book it. I don't want no static. I don't want no bullshit. You book what I'm telling you to book, and we'll be all right. And that's what we did. And why could we do that? Because I'm the boss. Just like when you come here and you start doing your thing for your business, you the boss. As a boss, you got to be able to nut up sometimes and tell somebody no. If you working all week, if you driving all week, if your wheels are turning every day of the week and you ain't getting a payout, something wrong. And don't be like them people that try to find a way to blame somebody else. If somebody tells you, I got a job for $4,000 and all you look at is a $4,000 and you take it without seeing that it's 3,000 miles, 45,000 pounds through nothing but mountains, and it's a 5-day delivery, that's on you. That's on you. If you realize that you're near home and you decide to go sit there for 3-4 days and you don't make no money, that's on you. If you see your truck is starting to have issues and rather than put in the shop and get it fixed, you wait till it breaks down and you stuck on the side of the road and you ain't got no vehicle, that's on you. You are the boss of your business. So if you are not making money, that's on you. If you are not ready for that responsibility, this is not for you. If you are ready to step up, if you are ready to nut up, if you are ready to be responsible and be accountable, then there should be no reason why you're not making any money. And I know there are drivers out there, they ain't the smartest. And there are dispatchers out there that are bullying these drivers and they're taking these dumbass loads. How do I know for a fact? Because there are loads that my dispatcher calls me. He says, John, you trying to get to California? I got this load right here going to Arizona, 775 miles, but it was only paying about $800. I know you ain't gonna take it. Let me call the broker and see if I can work the price up a little bit. I got him at $1,200 right now from $800. I'm gonna see if I can get him a little bit more. If I can get him a little bit more, this makes sense. Now he's already got the broker up to $1,200. The broker willing to pay $1,200 to deliver this load. Then what happens? Hey man, we lost this load. Some idiot dispatcher gave it to some idiot driver for the $800 that they already tried to get somebody to do it for. Now you think about that. My dispatcher had him at $1,200. But because that dispatcher ain't willing to put in the work, he took it at $400 less. And because that driver don't know what the hell he doing and not paying attention to the details, he took it. Now let me show you how that breaks down. $800, 25% goes to the company, which means that's $600. Right? At $600, you got to put fuel in your tank. It's 775 miles, 45,000 pounds. That's a full tank. That's $500. Boom. Just like that. Done. 500 from 600 leaves you 100. It was a pickup on Wednesday, delivery on Friday. So for 2 days, you're making $50 a day. You maintain that pace, $50 a day, times 7 days, $350. You ain't even making your truck payment. You ain't covering your truck. You ain't covering your insurance. You ain't covering your trailer. You damn sure ain't covering your pocket. At $1,200, at least you taking home $250 a day. But my goal is $500 a day. So at $1,200, if I could have delivered it next day, I'd make $500. I'd meet my goal for $500 a day. That's what my dispatcher was working on. That's what my dispatcher was working on. As a boss, that's what you should make sure your dispatcher is doing for you. If your dispatcher ain't doing that for you, then it's time to get a new dispatcher. And that's the difference. That's the difference in making money and not making money. Yeah, different dispatchers give you different things. And you can blame different dispatchers and you can say, well, he didn't give me the load. He didn't do what he was supposed to do. He didn't. And you can blame everybody in the world. The bottom line is, did you accept the job? If you accepted the job, then, and you're the boss of your business, ultimately, who is responsible for that fuck up? Dispatchers at this company hate me. They hate me. But my dispatcher goes on vacation, my dispatcher calls in sick, dispatcher's got to fill in. I've been through 5 dispatchers, I've been to 3 different boards already. There's always one dispatcher there that loves me. They're like, you can't get somebody going to drive a vehicle harder than John going to drive. John is somebody who will run it till the wheels fall off. If you got a load, you got to get it there, he will get it there. If the money's right. If the money ain't right, John ain't going to take it nowhere. But there are dispatchers on every board who don't like me. And why don't they like me? Because they're not willing to do their job, and I know what their job is supposed to be. And they call me with the bullshit, and I tell them no. I tell them no all day long. I tell them I'll make more money sitting here saving my gas than I will running that load. So no, I'm not going to do it. Oh, but if you go here, if you go there, you can, no. And if you ain't got nothing better than this, then don't call my number no more. No. No, no, no. And as the boss of your business, you have to be able to say no. You have to be able to know what you're saying no to. Now, if your dispatcher calls you and he says, look, I know you're looking at a minimum of $2 a mile, $500 a day. I got this load right here. It's only paying 1.8. But you deliver it here, you got a 200-mile deadhead over here. And this load I already got locked in for you at $3 a mile. Now, does that make sense? Fuck yeah, that makes sense. For example, this delivery I got right now, I ran 1,300 miles for $2,000. It was only 8,000 pounds. I did $500 in fuel. Did it make sense? Yeah. Was it below my budget? A little bit. But right now I'm about to pick up a load that's going 460 miles and I'm making $1,400 on it. You round it up to 500 miles. 500 miles times $3 a mile is $1,500. Does it make sense? Hell yeah. Right behind that, I got another next day delivery. Oh, that one is $1,400. That's next day delivery. Right after that, I got another next day delivery. $400, 40,000 pounds, $4,000. That's over $2 a mile. Am I still making my money? Hell yeah. And then after that, to close out my week, I got a 2-day run, 700 miles, $2,600. Does it make sense? Am I making my money? Hell yeah. But you got to know what you're doing. You got to know what you're looking at. You got to know what you want. If you don't know, they don't know. And they ain't going to sit there and wave a magic wand and say, okay, well, we're going to, until this guy figures this out, we're going to hold his hand. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. Anyway, I'm wishing y'all best of luck. Stay safe out there. Trolls, go find your daddy. I ain't him. Everybody else, go make some money. You got any questions? Hit me up. Later.